Hi everyone. Today we are going to introduce you one of the another prominent research scholar at IIT Bombay, Mr. Sandipan. He has received his MSc degree in biotechnology from University of Calcutta, India in 2009. Presently he is working as a senior research fellow at the Department of Biosciences and Bioengineering, IIT Bombay, India. His current research interests include serum proteome analysis of falciparum and vivax malaria to decipher disease pathogenesis, host immune responses, and to identify surrogate protein markers. He has more than 10 reviews and original research articles in high impact factors, peer review in international journals. He is an active member of HUPO, it's the short name of Human Proteome Organization, US HUPO, American Society of Tropical Medicines and Hygiene, American Committee of Molecular, Cellular and Immunoparastomology, ACM, CIP. He is also the member of Proteomics Society, India, and many other national and international organizations. With these all things, he is also in creative innovator. Hi, Mr. Sandeep.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thanks for the introduction. I think you have raised a very timely topic, but we should discuss further. And in course of the discussion, we can see that what is the reality and what is the need for filing a patent and how the biological science research, particularly the proteomics research, as we have mentioned that mostly my research interest is the proteomics for mechanistic insight into disease pathogenesis and host response and definitely identifications of surrogate protein markers. So we can move forward that how the research work can lead towards the filing and getting a patent and what is the really need for this. So I think we can go for some precise questions and answers in our coming soon.
Okay, so first I would like to ask you that from your field, from proteomic research, how you have get findings for patent applications, what type of research you have done, and after that you have think that I should go for a patent filing and just submitted application.
Yeah, so first of all I once mentioned to you that the patent is a form of intellectual property rights where it protects the invention of someone's for to be taken unauthorizedly by other people. So it is a exclusive form which is protecting your invention. The thing is that irrespective of the field, when you are working with a intention to invent something, whether it is a process, new novel process, or it is a endpoint product, that is actually if you want to make it as a part of market, or if you wants to make it wants to protect it from the usage by the others, so you can file a patent. Even not necessarily that you have to go to the till end point of your discovery and then you can file a patent. In the provisional form you can patent it earlier as well. So the thing is that in proteomic research, particularly when we are doing with the clinical proteomics, so where we are taking the clinical samples from different hospitals and doing the proteome level analysis for identification of biomarker, and our research interest is malaria and other infectious diseases which are very prominent in tropical areas, and this is leptospirosis or dengue fever. So when we were identifying a panel of marker protein that can help you to detect the particular disease and as well as discriminate a particular disease from the other closely related clinical manifestation. So the future of that could be the development of a diagnostic kit that will be used in the market as a detection tool for that disease. So in that scenario, if you can really identify some marker proteins which is allowing you to detect the disease with high accuracy, sensitivity and specificity, so you can file definitely a patent for those marker proteins. And apart from that, it depends that what type of research you are doing, and definitely if you are developing a new process, novel technology, that you can also be filed for a patent application. The thing is that in biological patent, generally you can't patent for a amount of subjects, or that is actually taken from a biological source. I mean to say that a human body parts or a product that is naturally available, so that is not comes generally in the area of patent. So you have to develop some process or otherwise some end product, or at least some concept that can be lead to a end product. To our cases, mostly we are looking for the surrogate protein markers with diagnostic and prognostic implications, and definitely some high throughput process for measurement of those markers, so that could be filed as a patent. And indeed actually we have provisionally filed 2 patents last year. One is for the surrogate protein markers for malaria. It's not a novel method, but it's identification of novel marker proteins that has been not previously used as a diagnostic marker. So we have identified a panel of 6 proteins that could be used as a diagnostic tool, and at the present we are patenting this concept of these diagnostic proteins, and later we may proceed maybe from our research group, or on the basis of this knowledge other research group can make the diagnostic kit or biosensors. So we are patenting that concepts.
So are you aware about like patent searching, how to search patents through various databases, which is present in prior art and these things?
Yeah, so very relevant question. The thing is that in Indian scenario, not only Indian, in world scenario, the researchers are more interested for the publications or conferences, but often we are not neither aware of patents, how to file a patent, or neither we want to patent our findings. And often it happens there are good basic research and applied research. Actually they have identified very good findings which is patentable, but nevertheless due to the lack of awareness, often it happens that people not patent their findings, not arise the claims, and later some other groups do the same and patent it from Western countries which is much developed. So the thing is that it is always good to search the US filed patents and see that whether we are doing the similar types of research, whether our findings are in same direction. For say if a US patent is on the diabetes or another infectious disease, and you are doing the similar types of study in another infectious disease, and you must see that what type of concept people are making patent, what is the claims, and often it happens there are underlying claims in your research but you are not able to understand it or recognize it, and some other groups do it later and they are actually claiming as the first investigator for that. So this end I think that people should be aware of that there are provisions to file a patent, and not necessarily that you have to go to, as I mentioned, to the end of your discovery and it must be a very novel thing, but nevertheless as long as there are possibility of making something novel, you can file provisional patent. And to this end another point I must say that once you are publishing in a conference proceeding or a international or national journal, it comes to a open domain, so public domain, then it's very difficult to file a patent because it is already become a open source content or open source thing. So it is always advised to first file a patent and then you go for your publications or conference proceedings. So there are sequential steps. But I must also say you nowadays good institutes like IITs or other institutes, there are particular patent cells with patent attorneys and lawyers who are actually taking care of your application part and things. As long as you are aware of your research part and you are giving them your raw data and concepts, there helps you to make the claims and they are trying to make a case for your things, because you definitely require the experts in this field who actually knows the procedure of filing a patent, because in application you have to tell that what novel things you have done, what will be your specific claims that is not coming to the territory of the prior arts. You have to tell that how your findings is distinguishing your ultimate application from the existing technologies. It should be novel, it should not be that you are just changing somewhat the existing technique and claiming something new. It should be novel in nature, it should have some application. So this thing actually, because writing a patent differ much than a traditional writing of a manuscript or an abstract. So it requires lots of technical jargons, it requires the technical terms, you have to make specific claims. So it requires the help from the patent attorneys and the patent lawyers, and indeed there are good supports from good institutes like IITs, where the one hand they take the financial costs to make the patent application from professional towards the end, and as well as give the proper support to the applicants that how to make a patent. And sometimes it is multi-institutional, where the multiple institutes are involved in the investigation and the findings. So there are claims are in that manner, that which stage which claims is from which institute and which institute is filing, who is the major partners. Since it is a legal document, you have to be very careful from the beginnings that it should be not be overclaimed or something misleading or wrong claims. And as long as your collaborators and those people, whether you are wants to make them as a part of the patents, or if not, then at which stage you want to acknowledge them, there should not be any controversy at the end. So you have to be very legally clear, and logistical things should be very clear at the beginning when you are starting these types of filing. But nevertheless, once you professionally file it, you will get around 1 year time to improve it, change it, add the other findings, and maybe by that time you can publish the data. There is no issue. Once you have professionally filed a patent, there is a provision to publish and or present it in a conference. So anyway, it is just to protect your findings to be used unauthorized person, or so that your claims and your actual invention should be taken with acknowledgement of your groups, your research groups. Even the third party is going to use it, there should be one mutual understanding that.
Or yeah, it might be in some cases it might be that you can sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, there are actually it actually completely depends on the patent laws of particular state and nation, and definitely what type of patent you are taking, what is the ultimate. If it is a patent is a procedure, then definitely third party can use it with mutual understanding to develop the similar process. But definitely there are legal documents and things, you have to go through a legal procedure with the applicant who has actually applied for it. And there are sometimes the things, the legal issues come in between, that whether it is coming exactly under that umbrella of applications or people are looking for a different thing. So that's why actually the good institutes have the patent lawyers, patent cells to one hand make their claims and one hand to make their claims, I mean, untouched by the others. And these things actually there is a big group of people are working.
So here I would like to appreciate your knowledge. You really have good knowledge about IPR, patent granting, searching, how to file the patent in provisional way, in complete way by using all specification. I would like to request you to give your some advices to young research aspirants who are working in this science and technology field.
So these things actually that whenever, particularly when people are working in a applied field, that is something they are making this beyond basic research. It is could be one applications, that could be a process development or some end product or a concept that is not previously used. So before going to the for a publications or conference, I think people should see that whether there is some merit of patent application. And as I mentioned beforehand, people should make a habit of read the similar types of patent that is working, because there are, if you go to the different patents sites, you will get the US patents or those similar types of biomarker discovery. You just Google it and you will get lots of similar types of patent application. You see that what types of claims people are using, whether your research work is belonging to the similar claims, or whether you are going to a similar pathway for a different product or different process. And if one people is doing the similar research in another disease or another aspects and filing patent, so why not?
Okay.
So definitely you can go for a patent applications, and definitely you can consult with the patent lawyers and patent attorney that how to make the claims. And definitely you have to do a good literature search to see that your things are novels and not you are going to repeat someone's work and claiming it, because wrong claims or over claims, those things are issues. So definitely I think there requires a collective work between the researchers as well as the patent lawyers, and definitely the authority of the institutes too for financial supports. I think when all are work together, then only it will be, the process will be much easier to go towards the end point, rather than there is a single investigator or just without getting any experience. And definitely I think it is better to talk with the experienced person who has the multiple patents beforehand to what is the process and how to get professional application, how to make it finalized. So I think there is actually workshops, and if there are indeed IIT there are workshops
yeah.
happens on IPR and
Along with that, there are so many courses, even the World Intellectual
So
Property.
I believe that the researchers, apart from their own research, should know these things and actively participate in those types of workshops or conferences where they will know what is IPR, what types of invention need to be protected, how to protect it, and how to make a specific claims for the invention. And I think there is the awareness is required, and to this end I will appreciate your these initiatives where you are starting from a baseline and talking towards different researchers who are already filed patents or looking for some professional application, or at least the potential applicants for future. So it's really, your endeavor is appreciable.
Yeah. Thank you, IPR World, also thankful for you to giving your precious time. So he was Mr. Sandipan Roy, and as he earlier said in his suggestions that some workshops, some seminars, some courses, whatever you have in your access, you have to go for them. As a being a research scholar, even World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO Geneva has started one general course on intellectual property, that in short called as WIPO DL 101. So just go and register for it. It is free of charge, and even you will get certificate for it if you have passed it.